Few designs have been as long-lived as the Porsche 911, or as successfully updated. Its instantly recognizable silhouette has been around for more than 30 years, but with each revision, this rear-engined, air-cooled, flat-six-powered sports car from Zuffenhausen has been made to corner more aggressively, accelerate harder, stop shorter, and through detail refinement, look better. To many of its followers, the 911 is considered to be the only real Porsche. With 59% of its 3,065 pounds borne by the rear wheels, the 911's tail can still be made to step out by lifting off the throttle or braking under considerable side loading. However, this tendency is much more benign with its improved rear suspension. Where this rear weight bias helps out tremendously is in the 911's fantastically powerful braking, effected through huge vented and cross-drilled rotors clamped by racing-bred ABS-assisted calipers. Overall, this car has a great feeling of precision and finesse. The 911's air-cooled flat-six engine has always been its most intriguing feature, with its belt-driven cooling fan and a crankcase to which bolts 6 individual cylinders and heads. To make the best use of its 270 horsepower, the engine is mated to a 6-speed transaxle, a Porsche production first. Also of note is the new aluminum multi-link rear suspension that replaces the less forgiving semi-trailing arms that the car has had since its inception. As Ferdinand Porsche was commissioned to design the Volkswagen Beetle well before World War II, it's not surprising that the original Porsche 911 showed aspects of its design, from its rear-mounted air-cooled engine to its torsion bar springs. Making its production debut in 1964, the 911 had a 2-liter flat-six power plant that was essentially a scaled-down version of the 1962 Formula One flat-8 engine. It wasn't until almost a decade later that Porsche introduced its Carrera, an appellation that signified its most powerful model that originated from the grueling Mexican Carrera Panamericana road race. This model became the first Porsche road car whose rear tires were wider than the fronts, and which had a rear spoiler to increase downforce. Although the styling changes to the 911's shape over the years have been subtle, each mechanical revision has improved on its superb performance capabilities, preserving its status as one of the most prestigious sports cars of the last 3 decades. Smell of the ocean. This route starts a meandering run along the coast, winds its way up and along some crags, inland through some tight forested road, and then back down along a narrow peninsula. It's a well-rounded drive with a couple of nice straightaways and a healthy portion of squirrely corners. Go ahead, use that lead foot, but keep a tight grip on the wheel. Congratulations, you've got a top 10 time for this track. Long heralded as America's sports car, the ZR-1 is the most powerful production Corvette ever made, foregoing the standard pushrod V8 for one with 4 cams, 32 valves, and 405 horsepower. The ZR-1's LT5 engine is a multinational effort, with engineering assistance supplied by England's Lotus and assembly carried out by Mercury Marine in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Final assembly of the entire car is performed where Corvettes have long been built, in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Carrying 200 pounds more than a standard Corvette and wearing wider tires, the ZR-1 is a little less nimble, but more than makes up for this in sheer power and speed. The ZR-1 attained an honest 178 miles per hour in our latest road and track top speed test, which places it a solid third in this group of sports cars. Drag strip launches are uneventful and easily repeatable, making it child's play to get 0 to 60 clockings into 5-second range all day long. And the big V8's power band is so broad that you seldom have to worry about being in the wrong gear. The Corvette's structure is unusual, with fiberglass panels that are bonded to a skeletal steel frame. This structure exhibits some flex, which takes away from the feel of precision, but tires, brakes, and suspension geometry are all so good that this is more of a subjective demerit than anything else. The ZR-1's 6-speed transmission has an extremely tall top gear for relaxed cruising, and cockpit adjustable suspension damping makes those longer journeys more comfortable. Chevrolet introduced the Corvette in 1953 as the all-American answer to the very popular British roadsters of that era. Named after a sleek and fast Canadian submarine chaser of World War II, the first Corvette was fitted with a fiberglass body and a Blue Flame pushrod inline-6 engine. Although the fiberglass body and front-engine rear-drive configuration have become integral components of the Corvette's design, the body shape, engine, and chassis have seen much change over the last 40 years. In 1990, Chevrolet launched the ZR-1 project with a mandate to build a supercar that would compete with Ferrari, Porsche, and other European sports cars. Though the last of the 6,938 ZR-1s rolled off the production line on April 28, 1995, the ZR-1 remains one of the fastest and most powerful production cars in the world. Congratulations! You've just beat the best time for this segment. Congratulations! You've just beat the best time and top speed for this segment. Congratulations! You've just beat the best time for this segment. You have won the race and beat the best time for this track. You've got a top 10 time for this track.